Hi my beautiful loves, it's Shiloh Wood here from Perfect Shade Cosmetics. Today I'm going to be telling you about our makeup sample kits that we had launched on the 2nd of December and are currently being dispatched to you. So ladies, we have 4 different categories according to the complexion groups. Now in my case, I fall under the light group, and what we have in the light sample kit is we have the number 1 powder, and I'm going to show you exactly what you can expect in your sample kit, which is free, but your delivery is 99 Rand. So this is the number 1 powder in the light sample kit. Then we have the number 7 powder, which is this. So you have 2 options if you want to have an effect where you are exactly the same color as your complexion, or if you want to go a shade lighter. It's just to give you different options so that you can make an informed decision. Then we have the corrector. Now in each one, we will tell you what the corrector is. Now in some cases, the latte is a foundation for some and it is a corrector for some. It is not clearly labeled corrector on your latte foundation simply because it's a foundation for some and a corrector for some. In my case, the latte is my corrector, which I'm going to apply on my areas that are uneven, where I have freckles, where I have uneven skin tone around my mouth. Then I have 2 foundations. So in every kit except the dark kit, and I'm going to explain that further. So in all of the other 3 kits, we have 2 foundations and 1 corrector, 2 powders and a primer. So my foundations in my kit, my light kit, is the fair and the light. Okay, so light is a little bit more olive and the fair is more fair and more on the cool side. And I'm going to apply the fair for my skin tone, and then I'm going to decide which powder to use after I've applied it. But before I go further, I'm going to show you what else is in your kit. We have the primer with the Photoshop primer. So we also have the Photoshop primer, which is the SPF 50, as well as the primer that blurs out your marks so that you use less product when it comes to your corrector and your foundation. Now let me explain further the purpose of your corrector. Your corrector is to neutralize your dark and uneven areas. We do not have a green corrector because we have incorporated a green ingredient in our foundation that actually neutralizes and brings back redness to its normal complexion. So you will only find a peachy corrector in the Shiloh Beauty range of makeup. So I'm going to apply the latte, which is that, and I'm going to apply it with my foundation brush. I've already prepared my skin with my skincare. So now I'm going to apply just a little bit of foundation slash corrector on my dark and uneven areas. You can see I've already done my makeup, my eye makeup, and put on my lashes just to speed up this process so that I can explain to you quickly how to use your makeup sample kits. Okay, so don't rub it in, just apply it on your dark areas and just leave it there. I don't have any other dark areas except the spot here. Next, I'm going to just clean my brush, and then I am going to apply fair and not light because light is more olive and I am yellow toned. So I'm applying the fair one here on my nose. Really, this is 5 times more coverage, so less is more. Take it all the way down to your collarbone, especially here if you have uneven skin. So just dot it on like this, take it all the way down. So just get your product on your face really quickly. Less is more. This is also too much. And then I'm going to use my foundation brush. These are 80 Rand, and just going to blend. So if you want to get your product on really quickly, use your foundation brush. Use your blender on areas that needs product to be packed in for open pores, acne scarring, acne pitting, use the back of your blender like this. You don't need to wet it anymore because of the consistency that has been changed. So I'm just going to blend it all the way down to my collarbone. Remember, you do not want a mask on your face. So the amount of product that's in your 2 ml foundation sample containers is enough to last you for a week. It's enough for you to determine if you like the 2 shades that we have given, and you can also make an informed decision in terms of your color preference, whether you want to look exactly the same as your skin or whether you want to look lighter. If, for example, you want to look darker, then you would just order the kit that is before the lighter one or before the one that you've chosen. You'll see the 4 different kits, as well as pictures of the products that's in the different kits. So when you send me your picture on WhatsApp, which is what you need to do, that is a procedure. You need to send me a picture on WhatsApp or just send me a message to say, I want to choose a shade. Then I will send you the criteria on how to actually send me your picture. I do not want makeup or filters in your picture because that's not going to give me an accurate pic of your complexion. So you can see how quickly this covers, but your corrector is a must. So a lot of women are like, oh no, I can't find the latte corrector. Your latte corrector is a foundation, and it is found under foundations. Under corrector, we have bronze and we have coffee and mocha. But your latte is found under foundation. So if you're looking for it on the website, please look for latte under your foundations. Okay, so I've used the bigger brush on bigger areas to make sure it spreads on, and I'm using the Essence range. So it is super smooth, smoothens the lines and the wrinkles. And now I'm going to use my smaller brush to get into the smaller areas, like under here and here. And above the brows, use a smaller concealer brush. Still too much of product, so remember that less is more with your Essence range. You really need to apply a lot less product than what I've applied, unless you have a lot more coverage needs. So obviously this would be perfect if you needed a lot more coverage, which I don't, thanks to my skincare and the amount of repair it has done on my skin that was damaged from years ago. So I'm just smoothing around my brows, making sure everything is really nice and smooth. And if I need any more product, which I don't, so just gonna pat it on, and then I'm going to apply my powder. Okay, let's make it nice and smooth, especially if you have the unevenness around here. The best way to do it is with the back of the blender. So that's the blender, that's the back side, and this is the side that gets into the corners, okay? And this is the side that you would use to pack in product, okay? Next we have the 7 and the 1 in the light kit. We have the 1 and the 7. You can see that's the 7 and that's the 1. I am actually going to go for the 7. I want to go for the more yellow tone. So I am going to apply it with a powder puff, just decant a little bit onto my powder puff. And then I'm going to use my powder brush to just get the product on. Actually, I'm going to use my smaller powder brush, which is that. And I'm just going to dab it on. Less is more with my powder because it is heavily pigmented. So I'm just going to apply very lightly firstly. So with regards to oily skin, I see a lot of ladies complaining about oily skin, especially the Durban clients, because of the humidity levels there, because of hormonal conditions, because also, you're not taking into consideration that you have to follow the steps that I supply to you on WhatsApp, on my YouTube channel. You need to actually mattify your skin first prior to applying your product. So what I suggest you do is apply the powder first before you do any other step. So skip on the day cream if you have really oily skin. You don't need a day cream. Your repairing and your moisturizing needs to be done at night. So I suggest you start off with your setting powder, which is what I've just done. This is a setting powder that I've just set my face with. Then you start off with your primer, then your corrector, your foundation, and then seal again with your powder. So your first step of your powder actually absorbs all the excess sebum, and that creates a really firm base for your makeup to last the entire day. This has been tried, tested, trusted, and it is working for majority of clients. So if you're not getting it right, please WhatsApp me on 079-272-4713 and I will guide you further. Better yet, you should send me a video of how you are actually applying it according to the steps that I've just explained to you if you do have oily skin. So I'm going to just carry on with my powder. And any bit of sticky area, remember it needs to be sealed or else it will move. It will get onto your phones. It will get onto your hands, your paperwork, or whatever else the makeup is getting onto. If you are not sealing it well, you really need to pat it in well. So I'm going to take another clean powder puff. Remember, when you do buy the real size products, which is this size, you get a powder puff in there. So you can also use your blender, you can use your powder puff to get your powder onto your face and really pack it in. So on this side, I'm going to use the powder puff. Like really, really pack it in. And if you find that an area is prone to oiliness, bake that area. So for me, this area is usually my problem area. So what I do is I just take on the excess powder and just leave it on there to bake. And then I'm also going to take the powder down to my neck. Remember, we do not want a mask on the face. I've still got lots of excess powder on here, and that's how much you've got to use. I love the synergy between the essence and the powder. It's just a perfect match, compatibility in smoothness and just durability and just the way it looks on the skin. I'm absolutely loving the Essence range at my age. And if you want something that's going to really last and give you that smooth effect, then the Essence range it is. So on the other side, as I mentioned, I'm going to apply a little bit of powder onto my beauty blender like this. And I can still see some Kimmy fluff here, and then I'm going to smooth it out with my finger and just decant a little bit because that's still too much of product. And then I'm going to pack it on. So whatever your preference needs are. If you want something that's really matte, then use the Beauty Blender. If you want something that's semi-matte, then use the powder puff. If you want the dewy finish, brush it on with your powder brush. It's just according to your preference and what kind of finish you want. So this is a super matte finish if you're using the back of the Beauty Blender with your powder. Okay, and then I'm going to use my concealer brush to get into the smaller areas, which is underneath the eyes. And then I'm going to let that bake a little bit, especially if your eyeliner tends to run and you start to get panda eyes underneath your eyes, then just bake it underneath with some powder. Brush away. I'm just going to leave that to sit while I do the other side. So while that's sitting, and if you find that, it settles in lines around here, you're starting to get a bit of lines and wrinkles. So while your skincare is actually working on your skin, use these tips and techniques to help keep your makeup lasting more than 24 hours. So while I explain all of the makeup samples again, I'm just going to leave this powder to bake so that my makeup is going to last the entire day and maybe 24 hours. And then I'm just going to brush extra powder on the neck to seal, because the last thing we want is to see lines appearing here when you don't seal your foundation well. So for ladies that have a lot of lines, you can pack it on with your beauty blender. I'm just going to brush it down like this so that there's not excess foundation. Go all the way down, and pat. Okay, so while that's while that's baking, I'm going to explain the 6 products that you're getting in your makeup sample kit. So the first one is your corrector, and for me that was Latte in the light kit. Then you have the light foundation. So you're getting 2 mils in your little container. That's going to last you, if you have as little freckles as I do, then it's going to last you 2 weeks. If you have a little bit more coverage needs, and if you have a heavier hand, then it's going to last you between 3 days to 7 days. So it just depends on your coverage needs, as well as how heavy your hands are and what tools you are using. Then we have the Fair, which is this. Okay, and that's what I've used today with number 7 powder. This was the number 7 powder. You can differentiate. This is a little bit more yellow. Okay, this is more yellow. And the number 1 powder is a little bit more lighter. And then you have the Super Matte Photoshop Primer as your SPF 50, your anti-inflammatory primer. It's titanium dioxide based, and it is going to keep your makeup on lasting the entire day. Now I'm going to brush off the excess powder from everywhere and from underneath my eyes, put on my gloss, my belly there, and I'm good to go. I am going to do a completed look after this. But I hope that explains everything about your sample kits that you're getting. Okay, so again, we have 4 categories. We have the light sample kit, we have the medium to light sample kit, we have the medium kit, as well as the dark kit. In all of the 3 categories above the dark kit, you have 5 products. That is 6 products. Okay, so in all of the kits except the dark kit, you have 6 products. Your dark kit complexion, you have 4 products, simply because your foundation is also a corrector for the dark complexion range. So I hope that makes some sense to you, and this clears up any kind of questions that you have had pertaining to the sample kits. But if you do require more information, kindly WhatsApp me on 079 272 4713. Remember, ladies, that we are experiencing large volumes of WhatsApp messages, queries, emails. So we are getting to your messages, and we are going to dispatch your orders. Please be patient. This is the finished look. Ladies, please keep those orders coming in for your makeup sample kits. If you would like to know more about what I've used on my face, please WhatsApp me on 079 272 4713. Ladies, remember, we are experiencing large volumes of orders, so please be patient. We will get to your order. Much love from me, Shiloh Wood, Perfect Shade Cosmetics. Bye.